I was in my senior year and I was like, bro, I feel alone. Like I'm doing all this stuff, looking like I'm lit, but really I feel alone. And that loneliness really sent me into a space is like I don't know what to do. Um, and that was probably the lowest point that I was at in my whole, scholastic career. you know, and I got to a point where I saw a video on my page, and it said it was a basketball player. I remember, and he was like, they were like, "How do you play like that?" And he was like, "Yo, bro, God." And you hear that all the time. That's cliche, but when I heard it that time, I was like, "Yo, honestly, God is the only thing I've never tried. Like I've always tried my way, doing it this way, trying to will myself into things. But it's like I always wanted to add God when I felt like it was convenient. Not really giving my life to God, not really serving God like I should have been. And I think that when I really tapped in is when I was like, you know what, God, I'm gonna try your way. And when I tried his way, like I was like, bro, I'm gonna just read the word, bro. Like I've never like locked in and read the word for myself. I've only read what I learned in school because I went to a Christian school at one point, but I got kicked out of that because I was so bad, going crazy. Um, and from what I was reading with my mom and my dad, but I never was like, yo, let me lock in on the word for myself. So I started locking in on the word for myself, started reading. I was like, yo, the word say this the whole time. I didn't even know 1 Corinthians 7, where it was talking about your body is a temple of sexual immorality and things like that. You should stay away from that. I didn't even know like that was in the Bible. And I read it and I went downstairs to my mom and I was like, yo, check this. Did you know this verse? Like, this verse is crazy. I started reading in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, all by myself. I read the New Testament by myself, like just reading it all the way through. And that's when I was like, yo, like I'm really understanding the word. I'm really understanding the Lord. And then I tapped in with Miles Monroe, and he started. He had this one sermon called "Life Is Not a Game," and I was like, yo, I've never been explained this type of, you know, Christianity, kingdom talk. I've never experienced that because I've always known like, yo, give all your things away, give everything you have away, be a missionary, and give your life to the Lord. That's the only thing I knew because that's all I watched in movies and shows and people being missionaries and giving their life to the Lord and all those things. But I didn't know that, yo, you could serve the Lord in the area that God has placed you in. Like everybody's a piece and a part. Um, so now I was like, yo, God, what do you want me to do?